suits you. Remember Frank Sinatra? I did it my way. And a lot of people live life with number one as the centre. It's my life. I'll live it my way. I know some of you guys are growing up and you listen to your parents, you say, yeah, they're really old fashioned. But when I get to be an adult, I'll make my own decisions. I'll do what I want to do. And a lot of people, not just your age, but any age, although they might not admit it, they're very much self is in the centre. We say, isn't that a good photo? Don't I come out well in it? Last year was a great year. I qualified as an architect, or I got some good results. I think I'll get to university. And the I is there, right bang in the middle of our lives. The world's bestseller says, we all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each one of us has turned to our own way. And I think if we're honest, we're all a bit self-centered, aren't we? And that selfishness often divides people. If you meet a really selfish person, they won't have many friends, because all they think about is number one, I. But it also separates us from the one, as I say, who wants to give us real life, and that's God himself. So beware of selfishness. It sounds okay. The adverts, if you watch the adverts, they're always trying to make you number one. You're not a man unless you wear this aftershave. You're not a lady unless you have this perfume. You're not a real person unless you drive our sports car. But it's as if it can't. Now, here's another way of looking at life. What about this? Life, if only I studied harder when I was at school, I might have had a decent job. If only I had better parents, like my mate down the road. If only I had more money. If only my family could win the lottery, then we could live in a decent house instead of this mess that we're in at the moment, with noisy neighbours and whatnot, grass growing everywhere. If only. Do you know, I've met people when I was a bit older than you. There was a guy, and he lived in the south coast in a lovely house, and he was still envious of other people who lived in better houses. And I thought, mate, you're living in a much better house than most people. So it's so easy, isn't it, to envy? Jesus tells us, beware of all envying, he says, because a person's life doesn't consist in abundance of possessions. In other words, God doesn't value us, and I'm glad of this, God doesn't value us according to our designer clothing, what sort of house we live in, how nice our parents are, or anything like that. God values us much more than just our possessions, because he says we've got an eternal soul. That soul will go on for all eternity, but where? So far we've had a selfish life, haven't we? And an envious life. Here's another way of looking at life. This is not people who tell lies, this is people who live lies, And you say to someone, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. Their life could be a real mess. Their parents could be in the middle of a divorce. They could have just lost their job. They could have just lost their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. But I'm fine, I'm okay. And if people that go for job interviews, a good interviewer won't just listen to what they say, but they'll say, what's this person really like? Where are his weaknesses as well as his strengths? Because we can all portray the best self, can't we? Oh yeah, I'm okay, I've got it all together. I don't need other people. I certainly don't need God. But beware of the envious life. There's a story I've told of a guy who got really depressed. And he went to his doctor and said, Doctor, I am really depressed, can you help me? And the doctor says, as it happens, there's a circus in town. You want to go and see this circus, especially Coco the Clown. He makes the people laugh. And the guy said, I am Coco the Clown. Get it? There was a guy that was really depressed, and yet when he before an audience, he made them laugh. But himself, he was just really miserable. And a lot of people live life like that. Outwardly, I'm okay, I'm fine, I don't really need much help. But on the inside, boy, it's a different story. So, we've got the selfish life, we've got the envious life, and we've got the covenant bestseller says this: man looks on the outward appearance, that's all we can do, isn't it? But God, he looks at the heart. In other words, he sees what you and I really like. He doesn't just listen to our words, he studies our motives. He knows the real you, the real me. And the Bible's verdict on our hearts, in other words, what we really like, is that the heart is deceitful above all things. Desperately wicked, we can know it. So our hearts are not good as far as God is concerned. There's a fourth way of looking at life. Now, just come to finish now. Life in real colour. There was a person, the most famous person who ever lived. He was a carpenter at the age of 30. And then he became a preacher in the Middle East. He healed the sick. He raised the dead. He spoke like nobody else spoke. And one of his closest friends said he committed no sin. Well, we can't say that, can we? We can't say we've never done anything wrong. But this guy's closest friend said he committed no sin. No deceit was found in his mouth. And this man, Jesus, when he was just 33, that's under half the age of people live today, he died on the cross. Why did he die on the cross? He died on the cross because God knew that our wrongdoing needs punished. You know that as well as I do. When you do something wrong, you expect to get told off, you expect to get punished. If I'm a motorist, if I go 40 miles an hour down this road, sooner or later I'm going to get a fine. Doing wrong, you expect to get punished. But we've all broken God's laws. Some of us here perhaps have told a lie, or we've envied, or we use God's name as a swear word, or we're cheating to our parents. We all do wrong things, including this guy here. And God knew the only way our wrongs could be forgiven is if somebody paid the price. But there's only one person who ever lived a perfect life, and that was Jesus. So Jesus had to pay the price for our wrongs, although he was completely innocent of sin. And he died in our place for our wrongs. So that if we are really sorry and trust in him, God says we'll have a free pardon. We'll be made completely clean on the inside. And the good news is, anyone know what happened on Easter Day? Good Friday, Jesus died on the cross. Anyone know what happened Easter Day? He died. Well, on Easter Day, Jesus rose again from the dead. Now that's right. He died on Good Friday, what we call it. Then 3 days later, he rose again from the dead to prove that that payment was acceptable by God. So basically, guys, I've got a leaflet here. It's entirely up to you.